Hello, it's Original MaRul, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be playing some A New Era, which is based on the old Pharaoh, the Era Online city builder game. I have yet to play the new version, but I was a huge fan of the old version. Personally, I'm a bit of a fan of Egyptian culture, the whole history of the Nile River. This is such a beautiful intro. I do find it funny how certain things in this intro don't line up. Either mechanics in the game or like historical. Because you don't paint a building till after it's done. This background menu music brings me right back. They must have got the rights to everything. Has to be uppercase. The MaRul family. Mission selection was like all the maps, if I remember correctly. Oh, it does have Cleopatra's capital, so that means this could have here custom missions. But that means that it might have all the Cleopatra expansion stuff, which would be really cool. There we go, back. I actually think I want to start with the campaign. It's been forever since I played this, even though I know most of the mechanics. Play through the campaign. Your family begins the pre-dynastic period, leading a small band of nomads through their discovery of the arts of civilization. Their leadership helps to set Egypt on its course to eventual greatness, still glimpsed only dimly. Nubet. 3500 BC. A village is born. Small landscape wind condition. I need 6 meager shanties, which are the second level of housing? Third level of housing? If I remember correctly, housing has 10 levels. And to get through all 10 levels is pretty hard. The palace, your mansion, the festival square are all unique and somewhat expensive buildings. Plan your city accordingly.
Welcome to ancient Egypt, land of the pharaohs. Here you'll participate in the history of one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever seen. In an epic story that spans more than 15 centuries and 24 generations. You must lead one family, generation by generation, from its earliest beginnings in Egyptian prehistory through the dawn of civilization to the establishment of a unique and powerful empire and beyond. Our story begins more than 5,000 years ago, along the banks of the Nile River in an area known as Nut. Here, a small confederacy of clans struggles to eke out an existence in the harsh environment. With you at its head, your family leads this small settlement.
Got away for a second while that was playing, but yeah, this is one thing I loved, was all the beginning of the missions were voice acted, and the music. Aw. Hey Dips, come in. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I hope you're doing good too. Hope you're feeling better. This is a game I used to play a lot in my teens, early teens, 10s, 12s. This is a remake of the classic Serra Online city builders. I'm going through the campaign. So this is our first mission. Yep, first thing, this village needs our housing to provide shelters with a sustainable place to live, build a network of roads, and allow eventual inhabitants to find their way around easily and efficiently. Build areas of housing, and you'll soon have people moving into your village. Use the right panel to... Okay, so they got the panel. This is pretty much just the tutorial. Oh, access to road markers. Have to build road. Need to build a road out here. The Kingdom Road. The path by which immigrants reach your city is known as the Kingdom Road. Migrants always need free passage from the Kingdom Road to the city housing area. If you isolate a neighborhood from this vital link to the outside world, its homes will simply disappear. Oh, this game feels so much like the original already. And I've just barely started. But yeah, in the original, the Kingdom Road is the first thing on the map. It has an exit point and an entry point. So here's my entry point down here, and there's an exit point up here. This road has to stay intact, or otherwise the city just doesn't work. You can make other routes through your city, and you can technically move this road, but it's better not to. Ooh, that's new. Seasonal. Oh, there we go. 100 people have moved into my city. There we go. There's a time scale. This is a great... I love this. Okay, so this is new. This is something you didn't get in the original game. I'm guessing this was the start. This is the flood of this year. So I got to watch out for that. These are floodplains. So while this flood is in effect, these floodplains will recede. And since I don't have a lot... So this game, looking at the terrain is very important. So you've got your floodplain, you have grass area, you have slightly green area, and it gets more and more sparse as you go out. And then you just have desert and then dunes. And I don't have any rock formations. This is also a pretty small map. There are some reeds. So here's like reed wetland. My only non-floodplain areas are up there and down here, but I don't think I'm going to have access to anything that uses those yet. Okay. Let people move in. Okay, it goes up to like 5 times. There we go. Access to water. To evolve your houses, your inhabitants will need basic access to water. Some well-placed wells will provide them with everything they need. Wells must be built on land with underlying groundwater. So this is where the greenery starts to come in, as indicated by the presence of green grass growing, and provides water within a 2-tile radius of themselves. So services, well. These are the small wells, or local wells. These. Okay, so this is currently a sturdy hut. It has 17 occupants with room for 11 more. It doesn't have any goods. Rated into foods, goods, and luxury goods. It is not visited by a tax collector. Okay, they're going to want me to hunt. Growing population needs a reliable source of food, and some means of storage and distributing it. The ostriches in this region can be hunted for game. You need a hunting lodge for that. Granaries will store the game meat and other foods, while bazaars distribute the food to the village inhabitants. That's what this is all is. I'll look through that again here, and once I get the tutorial turned down a bit. Okay, so this is why this wanted me build these. Okay, damn it. I missed that one. The workforce access was the previous one. There are people... I can't move these. When you build a business, a guy will pop out of it and start looking for workers. Unless they've changed it, the original version had that as long as that guy could reach any house, he had access to the whole worker pool, which was everyone that was unemployed. But we'll see if they change that, because you could kind of do stuff with that. I'm going to turn down the game sound just a bit. Let me check if that's... sound better mix-wise. Yeah, I think that sounds good. It might have been really loud before. Sorry about that. Okay, so hunting lodges, workforce will go find wood, or workers. Hunters, granaries. Hunters will now set out in search of prey. If successful, they will bring the carcass back to the lodge to be butchered. After which, carts will show up to deliver... I wish they would have put it this way instead of the other way. Cart pushers to deliver to the nearest granary for storage, which is what we're going to build now. Granaries are somewhat undesirable to leave nearby, but will need access to workforce, so it is important to place them carefully. So they're already talking about the desirability, and that comes into housing development. If your area is too undesirable, your houses won't evolve past a certain point. So now I gotta build a stock and distribution hub. Bazaars and distribution. While your hunters now deliver the game meat to the granary, you still have no way to distribute it to your inhabitants. That's the job of the bazaar. The bazaar will send one of its workers to the granary to bring back food as well, and will then send its distributor roaming the roads to deliver to your citizens. Walkers spawn and return points. When trying to place a building near a road, you will see indicators with arrows. The green arrows show where the building will spawn its walkers and where it will take deliveries of goods. The red arrow shows the point of return for distributors coming out of the building. Sometimes the points are the same tile. The point might change where you build new roads next to an existing building. You can check them at any time by simply hovering your cursor over the structure you want to inspect. So this is another new thing. That's not something that was shown to you in the original game. That's new. Okay, ambivalency. Distributors of goods or services will roam the roads of your city for a period of time and then return to their building. During their walk, if they reach a crotch road, they can take in either direction. To avoid distributors getting lost or going where you don't want them, don't build a road network with too many intersections. This is true for recruiters or some buildings, or this is also true for recruiters, so place your buildings accordingly. And well, this is why the city road and everything gets important later, or Kingdom Road. Roadblocks, yep, here we go. One of the tools at your disposal that you can use to control walkers is the roadblock. Roadblocks prevent distributors and recruiters from passing, but do not affect other walkers with a set destination. Use roadblocks wisely, and you'll be able to manage gigantic cities. Yeah, so it wants me to put roadblocks to contain my walkers within the city. Fire and collapse risk. To make sure it sustains the tests of time, you will need to make sure that the structure in your village don't catch fire or collapse on themselves. Not all buildings are prone to risks. The best way to tell if it needs to be visited by either an architect from an architect's post or a fire marshal from a firehouse is to click on it and open the panel info. Houses, for example, will catch fire if not attended to, but will never collapse on themselves. So this is where we have to add more services to the city. So, fire post and an architect. Access to clean water. Now that you have food, villagers need access to clean water from a water supply, which is preferred way of water over wells. Water supplies must be built on a grassy area and also need access to employees in nearby housing. Once up and running, a water supply will dispatch a water carrier to deliver buckets of clean drinking water to houses in its immediate vicinity. City unemployment. There are too few jobs to employ everyone. Unless a new job is created, the unemployment may turn desperation to crime, or even seek their fortunes elsewhere in the kingdom.
I hope I'm credited for the great condition of this city.
I'm glad those are still in here.
Ostriches are nearly invisible when they put their heads in the sand.
Oh, this is a good song.
The bazaar needs some items, and I'm going to get them.
So, certain citizens will tell you, like, what their jobs are. Some will tell you, like, the state of the city.
I like...
Well,
So I just beat the victory condition.
I like living here, but if I were running the town, I'd do some things differently.
You can also control a lot of stuff in the bazaars. Alright, so I've completed this mission. Very simple, early. Okay, so these are the meager shanties. So this is 30 is second. Meager shanty is a third level house. Let's see. I think the one I missed was workforce access. I just want to see what it says. As with most working structures, these buildings must be located within reach of housing, and the city must have enough workers to staff them. Watch as the building spawns a walker. Watch as the buildings spawn a walker to look for workers, and how they turn animated once their walkers pass by an occupied house. You can click on a placed hunting lodge to get more. No risk of fire, cannot collapse. That's the encyclopedia. Let's just help. Okay, you can turn off buildings in this version. That's interesting. I don't remember if you can do that in the first one. Oh yeah, you'll get predictions. Predictions that it's an excellent flood this year. Okay. How do I go to... There we go.
Well done. By filling your people's bellies with nourishing food and protecting their homes from fire and collapse, you have helped this fledgling civilization take its first step on the long road of history.
There we go. Move on to our next one. Green Dynastic. Then we've moved ahead 400 years. 3100 BC in Thins. Win condition, one ordinary cottage. The dawn of civilization. Average landscape.
After many years, and the passing of a generation, your family has resettled in the area of Inis, in Upper Egypt. Here, a small band of local rulers is attempting to extend its influence over Lower Egypt and all lands along the River Nile, and to unite this realm under its own house, with one supreme leader. Establishing Thinis as a thriving city like nothing ever seen before will prove the worthiness of the Thinite Confederacy and help them gain supremacy over Lower Egypt and the other factions vying for power. In time, this will mean providing the population with entertainment and building wonderful temples to worship the region's patron deity. To build a city this grand will require a substantial supply of cash. You'll find rich deposits of gold ore in Thinis, and harvesting them should be your first priority.
So, this mission is the first one with a lose condition. If I get more than 5,000 in debt. That's interesting. New beginnings. Start to lay down your housing to provide your people with fresh water and food the same way you did in Nubet. Or try to stay relatively close to those ore-bearing rocks in the northeast of the map, or northwest of the map, and you're going to need to mine them. You can clear trees with the remove button, but these won't grow back. In future missions, you will have to make sure you won't need them before getting rid of them. So there's a little bit of map resource management. Let's see. Okay, here's our ore-bearing stone. That's going to be interesting. Here's our ostriches. Food and farming. Okay, we only have access to hunting farms still, so floodplain doesn't matter. There's a nice green spot here. How much do I have? 5,000 to start with. And I didn't want to put that hook on it. I will. Go with this. Let's see. I didn't mean to do remove. Costs money to remove stuff. I was only about 1,000. Roadblock there for now. Get food, I think. We'll just go out here. Got the hunting lodges. The granary. Oh, did I not put enough road there? Oh, it's connected. I think it just... I can get rid of that tree. Should be connected once I unpause. I think that's everything I need to start. $100 people. Speed management. You might sometimes feel the need to speed things up a bit, or pause the game if a lot is happening at once. All the buttons you need are located in the top left panel. They have their own keyboard shortcuts that you can modify in the options, which I don't think was in the original game. Set your shortcuts in the way that is most comfortable for you. Oh, I didn't put down a bazaar. Better to centrally locate your bazaar as best as possible. I can squeeze in a few more houses there. When do I get access? Okay, I need 10 meager shanties. So I think that's just a time. There we go. Managing your treasury. So this is where we start to get into mines. Each structure you place costs gibbons, not counting what you spend and to pay workers' salaries. One way to make your money is to mine gold. Place 2 gold mines near the veins of ore. So you can start producing the production of metal. Make sure you have access to workforce and don't forget to guard them against collapse. I almost forgot about that. I forgot to put in fire post and an architect's post. And right now I want one down here. I'll put one up here once I get the mine set up. And that's the thing that you got to watch out for is how much money. Let's see. Where is the financial screen? Overseers, overlays. I think it's overseers. Oh, I don't have access to it yet. Okay, I don't have access to the financials yet, it looks like. Don't have to worry about that yet. The mines. Gotta produce that gold. Okay, yeah. This is where I'm going to want to snake these around a bit. I want another architect post. The palace. Gold is a special resource that can be stored at the palace, a unique building that also provides vaults for the city's treasury. You can only build one palace, and it must be constructed on a grassy area. Each gold carrier reaching your palace will add 100 dividends to your city's funds, which is the regular income. You should not have to worry about the debt. This is where, let's see, that in services, village palace. I technically put it one too far away, but oh well. I'll get rid of that tree. With a supply of cash in reserve, however, comes the risk of theft. Constables from police stations can help reduce the loss of theft, by patrolling the streets and to prevent crime by subduing any criminals they encounter. The best way to prevent crime, though, is to keep your population happy with adequate food, healthcare, and jobs. Budding Town has 500 residents. City overlays. This is first overlay. You can check your housing by clicking on them and see the risk of crime, but sometimes you need to be able to see at a glance if there's a problem in your entire city. This is where overlays come in on the left bar. Will help you. Try the crime overlay first. You'll be able to explore a few of them. Water, entertainment, health, religion, taxation, magistrate, risks. Okay, yeah, still lumped into risks and crime. Currently, everything's green. There's these little pillars on every building that is in the overlay. They will stack, and the higher they are, the higher the risk, or whatever you're looking at. Like if I go to water, everyone's got decent water. Still won't let me see the stats though. Okay, now we're starting to get into health. Crime isn't the only challenge you will face. Health can cause problems and decimate your citizens. Physicians patrolling the neighborhood will help protect your inhabitants from disease. Providing your population with food and fresh water will also reduce the risks of disease. Other structures will help your citizens' health going forward. An apothecary will protect houses against malaria in city with marshes nearby, for example. Good flood year. Services. Physician. In there. And here we start to get into the religion, which is the biggest part of this game. An Egyptian city cannot flourish without a suitable place of worship in the form of religious temples and shrines dedicated to one of the 5 gods. The patron god of Themis is Bast. To appease the god, build enough temples and shrines dedicated to each of them to serve your current population. A working temple sends priests throughout the nearby neighborhoods, granting your residents with access to worship of this god. In addition to their religious effects, shrines and temples provide a good amount of desirability for your houses nearby. Shrines can be built 1 tile away from roads and still function properly. That is good to know. And we get into religion. Oh, I'll put a shrine. Put some shrines around the city. Wish I could see the unemployment rate. Okay, so if we're still seeing unemployment, we can always make more gold mines. Okay, I do need a temple. Put one in over here. Flat mode. Temples are tall buildings that tend to hide everything directly behind them. Over the course of the game, you may need access to view to more structures. You can have that effect on the courthouse to, of course, huge pyramids. This is where you get one of the most important tools, the flat mode. Flat mode will be activated when the button is located on your minimap by simply pressing the F key by default. It finds all buildings and allowing you to see new ones. Here, then it just shows a nice symbol. I built 2 shrines. Did it not register that I already built them? Okay, I definitely need to do stuff in order, I guess, in this game. Or, I guess I just need to build one. Oh, I missed that. Festivals. Both patron gods and local deities become hostile if not shown, respective to their position. First, you will need to make sure you have enough temples and shrines in your current population. Patron gods will require twice the amount. Festivals are always a way to appease the gods. Build a festival square in the city to unlock the possibility of holding a festival. I would need a good spot for this. I'm guessing back along the city. Put one over here. Alright, here we go. Overseers. Consult with the overseers of the temple to determine the status of each of the gods in any particular city, and whether the gods are sufficiently appeased. Lightning bolts indicate that the god is feeling hostile towards your city, while a blue mystic symbol indicates that the god is feeling benevolent towards your city. The more of you see of either, the more likely your city is to feel the god's presence, for better or worse. There are different overseers available on the left panel to help you govern your city. Check with them from time to time. They should be able to answer most of your questions. This is where I was waiting for this to unlock. Fast is apathetic. 3 shrines, 1 temple, no complexes. And then months since festival. Old festival. Lavish festival. I can probably swing that. Oh, no, that's census. Actually, overseer chiefs. Here's fine. Treasury. Net flow. Currently, I'm losing money. Entertainment. As your city becomes more advanced, more citizens will enjoy leisure activities, such as taking in a little entertainment. A wide assortment of entertainment is one of the hallmarks of any truly cultured city, but currently you can only provide entertainment in the form of jugglers. The jugglers need a venue in which to perform. The smallest, which is called booths, build a booth on the corner of a road. You stage juggling performances. A juggler school nearby can train performers. Both need access to employee housing and enough workers to staff them. Jugglers trained at a juggler school will proceed to the nearby booth and put on a show, imparting a modest amount of entertainment to the surrounding passerbys. So here's the festival going on. Let's see. Entertainment. Okay, these can't be rotated. Oh, they rotate automatically. Really, what I should do is get rid of this house. Put in a juggler booth. Put up a juggler school. Probably bring it. Actually, what's my unemployment rate? Currently 31%. Yeah, don't need more workers right now. Dwelling cannot evolve until desirability improves. What can I do to raise desire? I am unsure. Guess I could put even more entertainment. The juggler school can handle multiple boosts. Are you not? Oh, because of the gold mine. If I remember correctly, a private well provides desirability. I think. Is this crude hut? What if I put another well out here? What is... Okay, no, it doesn't have any... So it has access to water, but it doesn't have access to food. Maybe another bazaar out here. There we go. It's now a sturdy hut. But what nearby housing is the issue? Nearby housing is having a detrimental effect on the desirability of this location. They're all the same level. Housing. Okay, this one's saying the bazaar is too close. So I need to move the bazaar. Which is fine, I'll just make an... If I put one over here, I'll just build another one like over here out of the way. You'd think you want to live closer to food. Why did you... This house devolved for some reason. I'm not sure why. An overlay for like desirability. The health. This is always the biggest puzzle of this game, is figuring out how to get your houses to upgrade. Risks. Fire. Okay, there's a bit of a fire risk over here. The only thing that stinks is I don't have access to beautification. How's my bill? 15%. I don't want to just build a new city, new section of the city. How's religion looking actually? Nope, that's divisions. Temples. Okay, fast is happy. I think. Definitely producing tons of money. Housing is having detrimental effects. Usually you just look around until you find the house that says something other than housing. Oh, that one upgraded to a rough cottage. So this one's happy. Just needed more beautification.
You have built the first true city in this unforgiving land, providing for your citizens' corporal and spiritual needs, and have helped the Thinite Confederacy unify the divided land.
Now we're skipping ahead 50 years. Per wad? Population of 600, 10 modest homesteads.
The Thinite nobles still struggle to unite the lands of the Nile under one supreme ruler. To aid them in their cause, it is hoped that you will endeavor to establish a thriving community at Perwajit, in the humid delta region of Lower Egypt, thus spreading their influence throughout the length of the sacred river. To support a population larger than that of a village, you must learn to use agriculture. Egyptian farmers have begun to exploit the rich, fertile soil deposited by the annual inundation of the Nile River for growing crops. The Nile can be hazardous, however. Many dangers lurk along its banks and in its waters, such as deadly crocodiles, hippopotamuses, and malaria-carrying mosquitoes.
Yep. The mission is lost if the debt reaches negative 5,000. Wind conditions, we already talked about. Floodplains! So here we start floodplain farming. To feed your people in Perwat, you must build farms directly on the floodplains in order to gain the benefits of its increased fertility. Unlike most worker farm structures, farms and floodplains do not need direct access to employees, but they need a steady workforce of peasant laborers, supplied by work camps. To tend their fields, build work camps fairly close to the floodplain farms so peasants won't have to walk far to reach them. Each year the Nile floods its banks, replenishing the polluted soil on the floodplains with rich, fertile mud. Peasants harvest the annual crop just before the inundation and deliver it to the granaries. Because there is only one harvest per year, make sure your city has enough granaries to store a sufficient amount of food for your growing population. Okay, so we have a decent floodplain here. It talked about hazards, but I don't see any. Okay, so we got floodplain. Oh, nope, there we go. There's hippos. We have access to reeds, but I don't think that's going to come in this one. Let's start with this little floodplain over here. I'm just going to go straight out. Let's see, pause. I think I'm going to do city here. I'm going to make sure to put my granaries over here. A bit farther away. Are up there. Water carrier. Got that way. Work camp. And we have figs to start with. I'll start with 3. Services. Fire, architecture. I don't need a palace right this second. And our patron is Osiris this time. Is that our only god? Yes. Oh, beautification has shown up. That'll be nice. That's the best way to deal with the city. Trying out here. Back there. I think that's the basics. Oh, that's a cloud. It's like that looked weird. So we have our first people. Oh, doctor. Especially with the floodplains, we don't want people getting sick. Let's see, what's our... Yeah, we have lots. I'm going to build a second granary just so I have it. There's a harvest. Malaria. Malaria is most prevalent close to waters and marshlands. The malaria overlay shows which houses are more likely to succumb to the illness. Access to clean water from water supplies and insect repellents provided by the local apothecary both greatly reduce the risk of malaria from any given household. Like most buildings, the apothecary only functions when it access to road and labor. And this is our new doctor. We already have a rough cottage. Okay, so we definitely are going to need more food. I do like the effect. Good inundation this year. Road. This is where having to clear some trees comes into play. More. Wonder if it will be better to put a roadblock there for now. Actually, might put that there too. I forget if roadblocks... I don't think they stop workers, but I don't want other people walking out on the floodplains. For the most part, a small loop city does really good. Oh, I forgot about entertainment. There we go. That looks like a decent harvest. In the old game, you could turn off certain notifications. Housing. I think just means that it doesn't have... doesn't feel beautiful enough. I'll give another temple. How is... Nope, that's jugglers. Apathetic. I should probably build a festival square. Can I get one like down here? Yes. Industry. Finally getting into industry. Now that you've been giving your people basic food, water, and you've enhanced their lifestyle with other good, you can enhance their lifestyle with other goods, such as pottery. Build a clay pit close to whatever water and a potter nearby, and make sure you have access to labor as usual. Make sure they have access to labor as usual. Before long, a cart will deliver clay to the potter, and who will create pottery for your city. Build a storage yard for the final product, as well as any excess clay that the potter does not need. 3 clay pits to 4 potters. So even back in this game, there was ratios. Workers from the bazaar will collect the pottery from the storage yard and distribute it just as they do for food. Industries like pottery can provide your city's inhabitants with much needed jobs. This is where I want to change this roadblock and use this area. Production, clay pit. This is when you want to start like structuring your cities with certain areas farther away. Oh, is that not wet enough? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna rebuild this area slightly. There's 3 clay pits. Storage yard. Put it down here. I want this storage yard, except none, except all. No, I want this to be except none. So this storage yard's only for clay. And then I want production potter. Another storage yard. Nope. Storage yard. See, my bazaar's over here. Hopefully that will be close enough. I want this to only accept pottery. Workforce and unemployment. You always need to make sure that you have more population than job openings. However, not everyone in your city is able to work. You can get a quick glance at your working population and employment stats by hovering over the population counter on the top panel. Oh, I didn't know that. The more info is also shown in the available from your overseers. Try to keep your unemployment below 10% and make sure you always have enough workers. Pharaoh, a new era, simulates an aging population where only 60% of the 20 to 49-year-olds are available for work. If you have trouble with the system, you can use the options to switch it to a fixed worker ratio for your population regardless of their age. In order to teach you to play with this mechanic, the option won't affect this tutorial. Okay, so it becomes hard. Okay. It's supposed to simulate better, I guess. So what is my worker ratio currently looking at? I still have... Okay. And that's with everybody everything employed. $500 residents. What am I up to? Ordinary cottages. What's the win conditions? Then overseers. Beautification. Great job. You've got enough industry up and running, and now you can think of making a few improvements to your city's beautification. You can use it to make some neighborhoods more desirable by making the surroundings more attractive. Gardens, statues, plazas can help houses to evolve. Several garden plots can be placed next to each other to form larger parks, but their appearance will be random. If a plaza on a paved road enhances the appearance and placing plazas on paved road to enhance their appearance and improve desirability for the nearby land. You can rotate statues like most buildings with the R key. If you'd rather choose which garden you want, you can place it akin to a statue. You can switch between the systems in the option. Okay. Actually, I forgot to hold a festival. Modest homestead. Oh, but I guess I'm not done with the gardens, plazas. Entertainment coverage. The entertainment required to evolve houses gets higher and higher. In addition, are provided by the visit of a juggler and later other entertainers. Houses will also get bonus points depending on your general coverage. You can check the entertainment coverage in your overseer of divisions, a booth providing a % coverage for 600 people. A booth providing a perfect coverage for 600 people. You might find yourself in the situation where a juggler from a single booth passes by house accommodations on their way. More people than that. Housing accommodations, way more people than that. Oh, yeah. Placing the other booths will help improve coverage, provide more bonus points to all houses in your city. Sometimes it's just what they need to evolve. Coverage from entertainment, education, religion, and health will count towards your culture score. In later missions, a high culture score is required to win. It is important to check their respective overseers to see what the city is lacking. Okay. I forgot I also need that sucks. Can't beautify that. And there's a weird, like, chain effect that sometimes a plaza is all you need. Blessing from Osiris. The god of the Nile flood blesses the cities with its sincere devotion. All farms on floodplains will harvest double what they are expected to this season. But you kind of get this effect where you have to keep placing plazas until they stop showing up. Okay, there we go.
Superb. Your own citizens are beginning to look to you as their caretaker, and neighboring cities also hail you as a provider in times of need.
So now we're jumping ahead again. Now we're in the Archaic period. Neckin. 300 BC. 1010 modest apartment. Or 10 modest homesteads, I think.
As the people who live along the Nile still struggle to survive in this harsh environment, a local king named Narmer has risen to power. Though Narmer has dominion over much of this land, full unification of the Twin Kingdoms has yet to be achieved. In commemoration of his accession, Narmer wishes your family to establish and govern a new city at Nekhen. This city will have temples to many of the gods of Egypt and numerous places of entertainment.
1,000 people, 10 modest apartments. Okay, modest apartments, not homesteads. And I can't go to negative 5,000 debt. Multiple gods. The patron god of this region is Ra, but Osiris and Bast are also worshipped here here as the local deities. Make sure the city has more temples and shrines dedicated to Ra, but does not neglect the other local deities either. To accommodate your most valued citizens, make sure they have access to temples dedicated to different gods. I'm going to take a break real quick, and then I will be back. Back. Oh, the music stopped. I really love this game. I can't wait to get to some of the later stuff. Okay, so what do we got here? We got flood, plains. Not really a ton. Very sparse trees. I gotta still be careful if I need wood. Be careful of that area. Because, yeah, once you cut down trees, they're gone. Actually, city here wouldn't be bad. Good, I was worried for a second you couldn't see my cursor. I think I'm gonna go... take out that area. This is my best spot onto the floodplain. I will have access to barley at some point this mission. I think I'm going to try to keep my city here. And I might bring that in. I squeeze in services there. Hire there, architect. Oh, that's cool. You can toggle grid. You have access to stone. Yeah, I can't really rotate. So you can kind of place in weird spots, but you have to be careful about where you can reach. So I start with this as my like city block. That's the thing water carriers provide, beautification. Get access to a lot more. Looks like I'm going to be dealing with taxes too. Temples. So that was fast, yeah. Yep, gonna have access to that. Looks like I'm going to get access to the other type of entertainment too. I forgot to put farms so far. This time we're doing grain. Actually, I can get grain pretty far out there. Why weren't these?
No one can accept these
Oh,
goods.
I forgot about
That's
straw.
okay. I can use the rest.
Forgot. I forgot the byproduct of wheat is straw. These are nice. I do need one for clay. And I also need to make potters. More entertainment. Beer and barley. Your fellow Egyptians have perfected the art of brewing beer, which has become a very popular libation throughout Europe or Egypt. With a supply of barley received from local farms, brewers will be able to make beer and deliver it to storage yards for future distribution by bazaar workers as a food as well with food and pottery. Taxation. Taxes and courthouses. A large city needs additional revenue beyond its initial funding. One way to accomplish this is through taxation. In order to levy taxes, your city will need a palace and a tax collector. Make sure to build enough tax collectors to cover the whole city, especially more well-to-do neighborhoods. Remember, the better quality of life enjoyed in a given home, the more taxes the occupants will pay. Courthouse sends a magistrate to patrol the streets who helps to reduce the risk of crime by hearing grievances and making sure cooler heads prevail. And this is where I'm going to need to make sure I have certain stuff. Am I actually short on employees? Okay, more housing. The city will be blessed with perfect inundation this year. Good. How are the gods doing? They're all apathetic, which is at least better than nothing. $500. Building picker. Sometimes you'll want to place a building that you can already see on the screen instead of going through the construction menu. Simply copy and paste the building with the building picker. Control click the building and voila, you can place it wherever you want. Okay, that's nice. That comes in handy. Unemployment is 10%. I need to slow down a bit because I need to build a palace. Tax collector. Courthouse. Because my treasury was getting a little low. Perfect inundation. And I might need another bazaar. And get a water carrier out here. Let's see. Let me make some barley farms. Get rid of all this. Sometimes the roads go a bit squirrely. Or no, storage yard. I want a storage yard here. That is... Yep, none. But barley. And production breweries. Oh, I think I placed those a bit wrong. That should bring down unemployment a little bit. Thank you, Incog Jesus. And thank you for the follow. Stretch. Oh. There we go. Got our first barley production. Little excess for our first. We'll see how well that treats our city. What do we currently got? Modest homesteads. You just don't have access to anything. There we go. What don't you have access? You don't have pottery. There you go. That's the easiest way to tell if you've got a healthy city, if all the houses are the same level. Excellent inundation. Are the gods still happy? Yes, they are all benevolent. We've reached 1,000 people. I think, what, it was 1,000 people and I need modest apartments. Do I have access? Yes, I did get access to the other type of entertainment. I just need a place that they can actually play. But placing entertainment venues is one of the harder things in this game. I think it needs a corner with lots of space. Thank you, Zakar Oakstander, for the follow. Well, I mean, the buildings are modest. Modest homestead, modest apartments. Let's see. Can I remember how to build a bandstand? Yep, there it is. I'll bring some more culture to my city. No. Okay, water crossing. Something caught fire. Ugh. Okay, did not have enough fire services. So what I lost? A house, a water carrier, and a tax collector. Tax collector's office. And a water carrier. Which reminds me, I should put probably another architect over here. Yeah, always need more culture. That's a spacious apartment. Did I already... I have to have 10 modest apartments or better. Okay, so I need a few more modest apartments. Those are spacious homesteads. That's a modest apartment. There we go, victory.
Well done. Thanks to your capable leadership, Egyptian civilization has advanced considerably and will continue to do so in the coming decades.
Yeah, I'm just bad about checking the fire overlay. Plus, I was kind of playing on my gut to, because I played this a ton, played the original version a ton as a kid. So now we're in Metnir, 2900 BC. Ooh, I saw a monument. That's good to know. F key for fire coverage.
After a lengthy struggle, King Hor-Aha has managed to unite the twin kingdoms of Upper and Lower Egypt and proclaimed himself Pharaoh over all Egypt. As a sign of his absolute sovereignty and the establishment of this, the first dynasty of Egypt, Hor-Aha has ordered the founding of an imposing capital at Men-Nefer, from which he may govern this fledgling nation. Because of your family's many generations of faithful service to this land, Pharaoh has chosen you to be the architect of this splendid city. Because the capital is the very symbol of our kingdom, its citizens must enjoy a quality of life heretofore unknown in this land. To this end, you will eventually need to trade with other cities in the realm
trade.
and to provide a higher standard of education for at least some of your citizens. You must also build a sacred mastaba tomb for the city's nobles.
So here we got ratings goals. I mean, I think the AI pathing was kind of part of the challenge of the game, the original game, and what. Yeah. Because there's a lot of games that have tried to recreate what this game does and have kind of failed. Mostly around the whole way the housing evolves. But yeah, got our first rating conditions. 15 culture, 5 monument, which is just build this. Prosperity of 20, kingdom rating of 40, 1500 population with spacious apartment, with at least one spacious apartment. The banks of the Nile. Begin by planning the areas of housing and industry. By now, you know what the people want. In addition to the basic foods and water, you must provide some houses with pottery, beer, entertainment, and access to religious services before you can think about higher education and trade. From this tutorial From this tutorial onward, now you will learn how to play with recruiters. You can switch to the global worker pool. Okay, so this is the change that I was wondering about. Learn how to play with recruiters. You can now switch to the global worker pool in the options. This allows every building connected to a road to have automatic access to workers. While this is a big change from the original Pharaoh, giving you the choice to make the game more accessible and fun. Giving you the choice makes the game more accessible and fun. So they've... I mean, okay, so it takes away a feature of the old game. Yeah, it makes satellite housing irrelevant. But does it actually... It doesn't seem like it fixes that issue. Instead, you either play it the old way or you play it in a way that the recruiters just don't do anything. I was hoping for an actual harder version where it was only if a recruiter hit a house with actual unemployment, then you'd get workers from it. But I guess that's not the case. I do like the minimap shows what your specific resources are. That's actually really good. Yeah, the OG style is harder, but the OG style is literally if a recruiter can hit a house, then it has access to the global worker pool. That was slightly harder. I was hoping for something even harder than that, which was the game actually tracks like how many unemployed workers are in every house. And you got workers on based on that, but that would have to be a whole nother thing. Yeah. But this is what I was expecting. At least this has all the basics of the original. I was personally hoping for something a little harder, but it being an exact copy is good. Reach Spaces Apartments. What's my map look like? So back in the old OG game, I used to build scenarios as a kid. I got a small water spot out there. That's just regular stone. Yeah, that's just regular stone. But we have lots of reeds. I mean, this looks very... So far I've seen a few things. Oh, my game's running. In the old version, I tried to make scenarios that were very balanced. Like, it was actually harder to trade for some of the harder goods. And you couldn't just produce them all yourself. You could produce some, but not a ton. Okay, where am I planning this time? Yeah, I'm still not allowed. I still have to go with floodplains. Personally, I don't like floodplains. I'd rather have actual farms and water lifts and irrigation ditches. So chickpeas are major harvest. Turn on the grid for a second. And I get a road here. I think that's basically what I want. That wasn't the best. Well, I could do this. Or maybe that. Of course, it has to have access to the Kingdom Road first. Where's my Kingdom Road? There it is. I see road snapping is still as annoying as ever. Okay, yeah, that won't do. I guess I just... Better way to plan that. Besides doing this. Camp. Clay pits. Make sure I can get those in. At least I have chickpeas this time, so I don't have to worry about straw. I think out here would be the best for a residential district. Let's see, what was it? Options. I want to double check it. Oh, here's the notifications. I don't want that. Don't really care about that. So that's fine. Gameplay. Okay, so still on recruiters. I will still go with the age simulation if that is kicked in or not. Uncapped zoom. Off-road water lift. Off-road tower. Or delay or pause. Confirm. So does this just... No. Cancel. Still doesn't really let me see into the corners. But that's better. Okay, so that's over there. I want a roadblock there. Services. Water carrier. Firehouse. Architect. Palace. How many gods do I gotta deal with this time? Path Bast, and Osiris, and Path is my local, or is my patron. Okay. Last time I didn't even make a festival square, but I feel like I'm going to need to, and especially with the especially if this time I've got access to... Yes, I've got access to beer again. Okay, it does have to be 2-road or a 5x5 intersection. I remember people playing this game, or the original game, and like taking graph paper and plotting out their cities for certain maps and posting it to like forums and stuff. What's funny is the best religion is to just have the gods apathetic. Like some of the blessings just kind of suck. Yeah, shrines are good, but I at least like to have one of each temple. Let's see, I still got 5,000 before I start everything up. I did set that to only clay. Production. Water. Distribution. I want to do 50% pottery, 50% beer. Because this is going to be my major bazaar storage yard. Yeah, let's see. That's 6 workers. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so you can just do that. Okay, global labor pool. It'll just make the city look better overall. Oh, I forgot about healthcare. Healthcare. Because of that, now my city is ravaged. City settlements. As a ruler, it's important for you to know how your people feel about you. It is important to be able to do something about it. If the people are angry, less population might come to your city. Immigration can even stop altogether. At some point, people will leave your city. City settlement can be checked with your chief overseer and is updated every month. City sentiment. 4 main parameters: wage, taxes, unemployment, and slums. City high taxes, wages lower. High taxes, wages lower than the rest of Egypt. Unemployment over 10%, and too many huts while your city hosts manors will all have a negative impact on your city settlement. Of course, high taxes can be offset by high wages. And if taxes are low enough, unemployment might never be a problem, but be sure to balance everything properly or your people will leave you. So the whole thing I don't like about the global work pool, which would stop me from using it, is how easy it is to cheat it anyway. The only reason I turned on the global work pool setting is because you can cheat it with one house. And like I said, the recruiter has access to the global work pool. So if you just put one house by every building, it's the same as turning on global work pool. And what does that cost you? Like an extra 10 dinar? Like, the setting is basically a visual improvement over the base game. That's why I was like, if there was a harder version, I would actually go for that. But since Global Work Pool and Recruiter is basically the same thing, it's just how many weird houses do you want set around your city. I never had a problem with crime with work ghettos. Like, that was never an issue I had. You keep unemployment down, you keep your tax rate down, you will never have any issue with crime in work ghettos. I mean, I guess the original game was hard, but as like a 10-year-old, I played it and didn't have much issue with it. Like, I could run a basic city at 10 without too much issue. I'd maybe forget pretty much what I'm forgetting now. Fire, health. But the game was I thought it was pretty manageable. I just, personally, right now, Recruiter is exactly like the base old game, and Global Work is just like Recruiter but without work ghettos. So, I don't know. Maybe when I go to my right now, just playing through the. I was worried about that my floods aren't actually that good. I think playing right now through the early stages of the tutorial just to get through the tutorial, I think I will play with Global Worker Pool, but I might turn it off later. Some shrines around. Okay, I'll turn recruiters back on. Isn't this supposed to be accepting pottery? Oh, I didn't turn on. No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't like the look of having the work ghettos. And the work ghettos are such a bad design, or just, I feel like the work ghettos are a symptom of an issue in the game that is not like it's a shortcoming. If it's so easy just to pop work ghettos places and have access to all the full worker pool. Yeah, but that's what I mean. If you're gonna, the global worker pool is just an exacerbation of that. All it does is, is not an exacerbation, a quick fix. All it does is, instead of having work ghettos, it's just, we're just going to pretend that the recruiter has infinite range. And that's what I'm saying. I almost wish there was a harder version that actually fixed the work ghetto situation. Because technically the way it works with the recruiter is, once they hit a work ghetto, they have access to the entire city's population, where I would like it if they only had access to that work ghetto's population. And if that work ghetto runs out of workers, then there's an issue. But then the worker control screen wouldn't even really matter. It would fundamentally change a lot of the game, but I almost think that would be for the better. Okay, this is annoying. My floods are only coming to like here. And I need better food. I'm gonna plant some chickpeas farther out. Find some extra services. Yeah, pomegranates. I kind of did too. Like, at least this game actually, I think, does a good job of showing off this area of the world. And how a lot of civilization actually kind of grew from some of the lessons. Or a lot of this... I'm trying to not... I'm jumbling my words. That this shows how a lot of civilizations evolved. Along, like, what lines they evolved on. And I stick... Yes. Have enough room for a conservatory there. I really, personally, I hate that conspiracy. The whole UFO conspiracy about the pyramids just... It makes me feel like all you're saying is... Okay, I ran out of money. I got my gift from the Pharaoh. That's not good. I forgot to tax. Yeah, the whole thing that I hate about that conspiracy is you're literally saying that humans could never do that. That human ingenuity is like zero. Yeah, you're pretty much just saying that humans were never that smart. That human engineering could have never done that, which is just bull. And what's funny is they only say that about the pyramids, but when it comes to like other parts of the world, and even like the Great Library of Alexandria, what it was supposed to be, they don't say aliens built that. They just say the Romans built that. We have a good idea about how big the Library of Alexandria was, and it was rather massive, like the Parthenon. Oh yeah, no, I mean like and that's only when you get to like this part of the world. There's still like there's people that don't talk about like the Islamic Golden Age and a bunch of other stuff. And oh, Egypt, something so massive. No, there was huge parts of the world that had amazing math. And some of it we still haven't been able to fully grasp how they did it. Yeah, but those they kind of lump in because they're idiots. Even though we have a pretty good idea how they were all constructed. I don't know. Those people are just idiots. Okay, I need to start getting taxes, or otherwise my city's just gonna fall in. Magistrate. Yeah, now my unemployment's way too high because I built so many houses because of the flu outbreak. Malaria. Another bazaar. There we go. Hold lavish festival. All my potters fell apart. That's great. This one does come in handy later, path. But I don't have any of those right now. Really make things look nicer. Linen or jewelry. Could really use more food right now. It's the blessing I need. Yeah. I mean, if right now I'd actually like if Osiris was my patron. Okay, I definitely still need more food. Okay, and I definitely need a work ghetto, sadly. That actually allows me to do this now. Yeah, chickpeas. Oh, you have to start on beer. We need a work yard for that. Just in case I still need more pottery. Or, well, clay. Dull barley. Oh, and now the Pharaoh demands a 900 beer. Okay. Time to build an extra storage yard for beer. I want to change this to get half. Because if I remember correctly, a storage yard can hold 1,000. Now we're on to education. Oh, now that you've built up your city somewhat, it is time to provide education for the citizens. Scribal schools cannot educate people without papyrus on which to write. Gather reeds to supply papyrus makers with the necessary raw material, and papyrus would be distributed directly to the city's educational facilities. These are spacious apartments. But I do have to have a running scribal school. I have 6 months left to get beer. That's 400 beer. But I'm sure it's going to be taken away. There's... That's 800. Come on, just a little more. Without a bazaar coming and getting it. Okay, good. Did that send it off? Yes. Okay, good. I was worried I was going to not make that. Yeah. That's why I was kind of building out over here. Kingdom standing climbs. Oh, village noble MaRul. Because you have sent 900 beer to Pirwat, as they requested, you have become more popular among your fellow Egyptians, and your kingdom rating has risen. What is my current ratings? Learning, public health, commerce, ratings. 15 culture, 15 needed, 40 needed, 47. I have 0 prosperity, and I need monuments. I have spacious apartments, but I don't have enough citizens yet. But really, I just need to get this better upgraded. Looks like I have a decent amount of chickpeas at least. Knowledge. Okay, no, turning this to bricks. Or accept all. There we go. I need to really produce reeds. Storage. None except reeds. None except for papyrus. Yeah. And I also do that because I have too much unemployment and I need more jobs. Except. Okay, no, that got all the bricks. Forgot doctors over there. I'm running out of... Oh, I'm not... They're not getting enough religion. I'm making it as fast as I can. There we go. Okay, my unemployment's finally down. Didn't get it there in time. Didn't even have access to trading yet because I hadn't finished the scribal school. Okay, introduction to trading. Now that you've managed to educate some of your people, you might want to generate additional revenue by selling surplus papyrus to neighboring cities. You may also need to import bricks from Pharaoh in order to build the sacred Mastaba tomb. Click on the world map icon on the left panel to see what other cities are in the known world and begin setting up trade. I don't get a trade dock, do I? All my trade. Yeah, must be smart to trade. My kingdom rating has fallen. Okay, trade routes. The world map shows the location of your city as well as other cities in the world. Here, you can pay to open trade routes with cities willing to trade. To set up trade routes, click on the city you wish to do business with and select open trade route. Importing and exporting. Once you have set up a trade route, you will still need to instruct the Overseer of Commerce as to which resources and commodities you wish to import or export. You can never import or export the same item at the same time. While you need to import bricks, these can be quite costly, so you can offset this by selling any surplus papyrus you have. Construction guilds. Construction guilds supply the skilled labor needed to erect monuments. The mastaba is entirely made out of bricks, so they only require the bricklayer guilds to build. You can employ many bricklayer guilds as your economy can support, but make sure you also have enough bricks being delivered to the construction site to keep them busy. Once the bricklayer guilds has acquired labor, it will dispatch bricklayers to the construction site where they will wait for delivery of bricks from unskilled peasant laborers. Once the bricklayers are awaiting supplies on the monument site, gangs of peasant laborers will begin to haul bricks to them. Because these are the same laborers, they must also attend to the fields and the floodplains. You must find that work on the monument slows down when the flood has receded and the peasants return to the field. Once you can construct additional work camps, so the surplus labor is needed to in the fields and work the monument year-round. And here, Pirwat. The Pirwat sells the bricks. They also sell figs. And Necken, which will buy papyrus from me. Yeah. Get my trade routes. Overseer of Commerce. I want to export papyrus. Went over 400. Right? Yeah. I have more workers. Put it out on the Kingdom Road, so they have to walk by it. End of tutorial. You've reached the end of the tutorial. It's now up to you to finish. No, here's Mastaba. And make sure the balance of your imports and exports, that your citizens have access to all resources they need. In subsequent missions, until you reach Kara, you'll get information on any new buildings, but there won't be any more need to hold anyone to hold your hand. If you forget something or need more information on a subject, you can access the in-game guide on the left-hand panel. You can also access it from any open window. For example, you may click on a building and find shortcut access to the guide. In addition, additional info on it. If you're looking for information on ancient Egypt, there's also an in-game encyclopedia. Enjoy your time in ancient Egypt.